Cruise news time. And well, we had a lot going on this weekend. Let's just say that, including the normal zany stuff happening in cruising. I've got stories from Princess. They broke a world record. Stories from Royal Caribbean. And look, there's a big outcry against lazy Carnival cruisers, some suggesting that people are faking disabilities to use mobility scooters on Carnival cruise ships. And now Carnival has clarified whether or not they'll ask for proof of disability. That one wasn't on my bingo card for this year. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on a Monday, the 15th of July, 2024. And certainly, if this wasn't a cruise show, there would be a lot to talk about. The passing of celebrities, the events in Pennsylvania. Again, there's got to be a different place to talk about it. We won't talk about it here. We'll just stick to the cruising. But I just wanted to mention it because I don't want anybody to think that it wasn't top of mind for me like it was top of mind for many of you. And whether it was those that we knew that passed or the events in Pennsylvania, just a good reminder to love on the people that you can love on and forgive the people that you struggle to forgive, and try to make the world a better place. Again, I don't know what to say, but I don't know what to say. All right, cruise news story number one. We have Princess Cruise Line breaking a world record, and it's a world record I kind of wish I was a part of. They broke the world record for the largest pizza party at multiple locations at one time, where they served 60,000 slices of pizza across their cruise fleet, and they got themselves a Guinness World Record. Here's the tell of the tape. The total weight of pizza dough used, 6,512 pounds. Total weight of flour used, 3,417 pounds. Total weight of pepperoni slices used, 1,393 pounds. The total weight of cheese used, 2,323 pounds. I'm not exactly sure what day this happened, but late last week, I went to Village Pizza and I got their Sicilian style pizza with cheese and pepperoni. And that thing felt like it weighed 20 pounds. I don't know, but I ate that multiple days since Thursday. So maybe I participated. Maybe I was an unwilling participant in this pizza challenge. I didn't receive a certificate from the Guinness Book of World Records, but that's okay. I'm excited for Princess. Congratulations, Princess. And it's nice to know that we got ourselves a cruise company in the Guinness Book of World Records. That makes me wonder. I wonder if there's any other cruise records. Maybe. Can you search that? Is that something? Can AI help us with that? Let's try it out. Hey, Siri. Do any cruise lines hold world records in anything? 9 Guinness World Records held by Royal Caribbean. This is interesting. Hold on. Oh, this took me to an article by our friend Matt over at the Royal Caribbean blog. Let's see. Largest pasta tasting event. When is this from? I can't tell when this was written. Okay. Largest pasta tasting event. Longest duration performing a headstand on a flow board. That happened on the Flow Rider on the Quantum of the Seas. Most nationalities in a hot tub. How about that? Let's see. These are that's pretty funny. 30 nationalities in a hot tub. Largest passenger line cruise ship. That makes sense. Largest weight loss lesson. Wow, it's like a big fitness class. And most standing front somersaults in a wind tunnel in 1 minute. I guess that's on one of those parachute things. Tightrope walking unsupported, greatest distance. Number 8 is most layers in a cocktail. Tallest observation deck on a cruise ship. Those are 9 records that, thank you, AI. Thank you, Siri. That's interesting. And again, congratulations, Princess, for the largest pizza party across multiple locations. Cruise news story number 2 and number 3 actually deal with Royal Caribbean. First, let's talk about, they've got something that was a first for Royal Caribbean that is now ending. And we're talking about their very first world cruise on July the 10th, the last 63 days of this 274-night global cruise kicked off. and this thing will end in Miami. It kicked off in Barcelona, and they still got a bunch of stops on the 63-night segment. 40 destinations will be visited. Le Havre, France, been there. Reykjavik, haven't been there yet. Give me 6 weeks. They're going to the Bahamas and to Bermuda. They're going to go to New York City, and then eventually Baltic Sea, Greenland, and then eventually they will end in Miami, Florida. It's the longest cruise ever offered by Royal Caribbean, had 150 ports, 60 countries. Yeah, it's been fascinating watching this thing. Certainly the success of it and the attention that it garnered. You can bet your bottom dollar that there will be another Royal Caribbean World Cruise. That's a long time to be on a cruise ship, 274 days. I mean, you're almost in the Navy at that point. In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas. Shout out Ludacris. You're almost in the Navy at that point. I don't know that I could do. I think the longest I've ever done on a cruise ship's 21 days. I don't know if I think I could do a month or two, but 274. That is a bunch. And then cruise news story number 3, Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. Did I mention I'll be getting on Utopia on Friday? I'm so excited. I just booked my pre-cruise hotel. I booked a completely different hotel so that I could go to Cocoa Beach and show you guys a whole different vibe of pre-cruise for Thursday. I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. Just booked that. But yeah, I'm getting on Utopia on Friday. But I do have a Utopia story dealing with a cruise that's happening in 2025. Guests that are scheduled on the February the 3rd sailing of the Utopia of the Seas, February the 3rd, 2025, they received notification that instead of having a sea day, they're going to go to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is really interesting because it's like only a 3-stop cruise. So it was supposed to be Coco Cay, Nassau, Sea Day. Now it's going to be Coco Cay, Nassau. And so Royal really leveraging this Coco Cay action, which I think's good. I don't know if you'd like that or not, but could you imagine your 3-day cruise with no sea days, which it's not that long of a cruise, so not that big a deal. I think I would like it. I don't know if they're going to have to pay more port fees now that a sea day has been replaced with what's, an actual port. Even though Coco Cay is a private island, it's still leased from the Bahamas. So I think there's some sort of, charge there, but I don't know. Would it hurt your feelings if you were on a 3-day cruise and your sea day got replaced with Coco Cay? I don't know. Leave a comment below. Now I got a couple big Carnival Cruise Line stories we got to process through, including this: will they require proof of disability for scooter people and people being upset about it? Plus another story. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. I'm liking that move. High quality H2O. A personal question. I have to go tomorrow to give blood. I've been struggling a little bit with my thyroid readings after my thyroidectomy. And the last time I gave blood, they stuck me 4 times and they only got a little bit of blood out. It was a little bit of a disaster. I'm trying to avoid that. But what's the deal? Do I drink water all day today to get my veins to float, or do I drink it in the morning? Anybody got any tips for how it's going to make it easier for the person poking me to only have to poke me 1 time? I got a little anxiety about it, really. When I had my surgery, they had trouble finding a vein. They had to bring in an ultrasound. And every time I've gone late, it used to didn't be a problem, but now it's a problem. Let me know. Thanks. Yeah, okay, so first Carnival Cruise news story. There was a cruise passenger that got his Leatherman knife taken away, and he was upset that Carnival Cruise Line does not allow Leatherman type multi-tools on board. And realistically, they don't allow most blades on board. Basically, his contention is that all Americans carry pocket knives, which is not true. The rules are the rules. And so I'm putting this out here as a public service announcement. If you're a pocket knife carrier, just be prepared to get that thing taken away from you if you try to take it on. I can show you this. I have a deconstructed Swiss Army knife that I carry with me. It does have a blade. This is the blade. Maybe I'll take the blade out of it. But it's nice. It doesn't have the toothpick. I need to maybe get a replacement toothpick or something. But it's got scissors, which is cool. It also has this multi-tool screwdriver, which is bizarre. It's got Phillips and straight slot and all that stuff. and it's very compact. What is, I can't remember what this thing is because I'm looking at it backwards. Oh, it's got a little flashlight. I hope I didn't blind you. Flashlight, and it's got like this poker thing. It's not really a toothpick, but it's like a that kind of thing if you needed to poke something. And then it has the tweezers. Shoo, shoo, shoo. And it's got a magnifying glass. I carry this in my wallet, and that's never been taken away from me, even with the blade inserted. But I bet you best case scenario, probably just, probably should just remove the blade for the trip. But if you're interested in the deconstructed thing, I'll leave a link in the description. What do you think? Do you think that those kind of tools should be allowed on cruise ships? Do you think there's no need for those kind of tools on cruise ships? Do you think it's wrong that they took this person's Leatherman? Leatherman's usually a pretty big blade, so maybe there's some small Leathermans, I don't know. But the multi-tools are nice on those. What do you think? Leave a comment below. All right, now let's talk about mobility and scooters and potentially lazy cruisers on Carnival. It's garnered a lot of attention toward the end of last week, spilling over into the weekend, and it goes by two major issues. The first issue is you have a bunch of scooter people that use mobility scooters on cruise ships, particularly Carnival cruise ships, reaching out to say, hey, we have trouble getting on and off the elevator. A lot of times people will skip us, like we may have been there waiting for the elevator, and people that are not on scooters, they'll just walk up and they'll get on the elevator. We deserve our own elevator. We should not have to worry about people not on scooters passing us up. You need to dedicate an elevator to us, Carnival. Well, Carnival said, yeah, no, we can't do that. The amount of manpower it would take to do that, nobody's going to respect just a sign. So while being empathetic to the plight of the scootered, they were not accommodating in a way where scooter folks were going to get their own dedicated elevator. And then conversely, we had some people that were not mobily challenged, didn't have mobility issues, saying there's too many scooters on board. And how do we know that these scooter people aren't fakers, fake scooter people? The person took it one step further and said, you know what, Carnival, you should ask for proof of disability before you allow somebody in a scooter on board. This story does highlight a broader challenge that we have not only in the cruising community, but in communities at large. We recognize that there are people out there that need accommodations for disability or circumstances, and there are systems and frameworks in place to provide accommodations for disability and circumstances. And what seems to be true is that in all of those scenarios, there will be people who game the system. And so it brings us back to this core question. In a scenario where there's going to be people that take advantage of systems, what do we do? Do we completely throw the system out so that there's no accommodation for anybody? Or do we figure out ways to go after those who game the system where it's feasible? Or do we just provide, the broader framework, and we recognize that people that are gaming the system will slip through because it's better to serve the many and not really worry about the few? I don't think it's fair to ask for proof of, disability if you're going to be on a scooter, because not everybody's disability manifests in the same way. There's people that can't stand for long periods of time. There's people who can walk for short periods of time, but not for long periods of time. And does that equal some sort of a documentable disability? I don't know. Like, what does everybody now have to go to the doctor so that they can use the accommodation of a scooter? The way that Carnival answered the suggestion that they require proof of disability for people who use scooters, they said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We would rather just let people manage that themselves. What do you think? Is that a good decision for Carnival? Is that a bad decision? Do you think if you're going to use a scooter, you got to prove why you have to use it? And what can of worms does that open? Does that mean anybody with food allergies has to prove that they have food allergies? Or if I think it opens a can of worms, but I'd love to hear what you think. The story did remind me of something from my childhood. Do you remember that classic Brady Bunch episode where Mr. Brady found out the guy was faking his neck injury by throwing his briefcase down in the middle of court? Do you think maybe there could be some mobility scooter faker schemes? If we only had Mike Brady. Boom! That is your cruise news. Hope you dug it today. If you did, please hit that like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise news, cruise news, cruise news, it's over.